What NBA player do you think of when you hear the term high flyer, or when you hear the phrase above the rim play style? Most people, when they hear those phrases, think of guys such as John Morant, Vince Carter, and even Michael Jordan. And while yes indeed, those are some high flyers and they do play above the rim, have you ever thought of who was the first player to ever play that way? Well, let me introduce you to a man known as David Skywalker Thompson, whose 44-inch vertical leap gave him the ability to play above the rim in a time where very few players could even dunk the ball. What's good, family? It's your favorite cousin CJ, aka Kajin. I'm back with another historical NBA video, and today we got a man whose off the court troubles derailed his career, but when he was on the court, he was the high flyer to see. David Thompson was a 6'4", 195-pound shooting guard that mainly played for the Denver Nuggets back in the mid-1970s. And what already being the size that he was, and having a very explosive first step, he was able to get by a lot of defenses with or without the ball. But what really made him dangerous was, again, that 44-inch vertical leap that maxed out at 48 inches. So he would have the ball, and if he's anywhere within the sight of the rim, he would just jump up and dunk it on whoever's in there. In his short 9-year career, he managed 5 All-Star selections, and in 2 of those he managed to take away the MVP trophy, and then also he managed a 2-time All-NBA, so don't think he was no scrub. Honorable mention, he is also ABA All-Time Team, which could include some of the guys such as George Gervin and Dr. J, so put respect on that All-Time Team selection. But how did he use his leaping ability to his advantage? Well, let's take a look right into it. After looking at the film, I conducted that his archetype is known as a super high flyer. So what that means is his tremendous athletic ability to get off the ground at such high distance makes him impossible to stop, and his explosive quick first step and ability to move on the ball and without the ball is amazing attribute to have, and especially in a day and age where not a lot of people can keep up with that much raw athleticism. I already know you guys see the footage I got playing for y'all in the background. This nigga could leap out the goddamn jump. If there was any room for this man to take off and fly, he took off and flew throughout the air. That's why they called him the Skywalker. Even from a standing position, he's getting at least 40 inches off the ground, so even if he doesn't have a runway, he can still just jump up and jam it on you. Boy's pure athleticism was unmatched. He can get wherever he wanted, whenever he wanted, and there was nothing no one could do. If you couldn't stay in front of him and you couldn't trap him and he took off, good fucking luck. Go back on offense, start getting set up. And he had a little bit of a mid-range too, because listen, if they start blocking you off, they start sending 3-4 niggas at you, you gotta learn how to pull up for that little midi, so you got a little bit of mid-range game on him too. And remember, he played the 2 guard, so he wasn't even the main ball handler, so he would work off ball, running down, getting a good head of steam going, and just rise up over everybody. And don't think my boy was no slouch on defense either. In his prime, my boy DT in his prime was averaging 1 block and 1 steal a game. His great anticipation of what the offense wanted to do, his anticipation and able to get plucks and steals and run the fast break offense was insane. If David Thompson was in the open court, it was say good night. He's taking off that 44-inch vertical leap. You're not stopping it, especially with his explosion to get to the rim at will. And yes, that leaping ability did help him block shots. He really used to get up there, up by the rim, above the rim, and send niggas packing. He'll catch a defender on his blind side, take a nice leap up, and say, get it the fuck out of here, nigga. David Thompson's best game came on April 9th, 1978 against the Detroit Pistons, where he dropped a whopping 73 points along with grabbing 7 rebounds, shooting 28 of 38 from the field. And remember, this was back when niggas was not taking 3-pointers. He did not take any 3-pointers that game. Those are all 2s and free throws. So remember, when they ask you who the OG high flyer is, when they ask you who was the first person to play above the rim, you say David Skywalker Thompson, a man whose raw, unmatched athleticism propelled him to great success. Alright family, this is all I got for y'all on this one. Make sure to like, comment, and or subscribe if you haven't already. It's been your favorite cousin CJ, aka Supreme Kajin, and I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Y'all stay safe out there, alright? Peace, peace.